Welcome back to Gloves Are Off. It's time to play Would You Rather. So we are going to start it off with Andrew. We were talking about this on the golf course yesterday. This draft, there were a couple of highly skilled players who were said to have character issues. So my question for you guys is, would you guys rather draft a great character player who's going to be more of your third, fourth line guy, but he's going to be great in the dressing room, or would you rather get a highly skilled prospect who is going to be your top line center or top line winger, but he is not great with other players, not great in the dressing room?
I would go with I'm going to say it depends on the organization, but I would take the skill because I think these are younger kids who are going to learn. We're talking about Anthony D'Angelo and Josh Hosang. Both, I think, are going to go to organizations and they're going to learn not to do this, especially, and D'Angelo's going to Tampa. He's going to learn this pretty quickly, how not to act. So I think I would take the skill because the skill is something you can't learn, I think, as much as maybe getting a better attitude when you get older.
I'm going to go the opposite because I think any kid deserves a chance, and I think that Hosang's going to do well on New York with the Islanders. I think guys like Tavares, Okposo, they're going to help nurture and surround him and teach him the right of the way, and he'll take it back to junior this year and probably dominate in the OHL and wait and see, go back to Long Island if they're still there in New York and go from there.
All right, my next one. Now, we saw some pretty ridiculous deals handed out. Even Derek Engelin making almost $3 million, I think is just ridiculous. But my question for you guys, would you rather be a team, kind of like Detroit or LA, who just waits it out on draft day and free agency, or would you rather be someone who overpays?
I'd rather be Chicago or LA any day because you look at where those two teams are and you look at how many guys have played on the AHL or East Coast League on each of those rosters, and all they've done is develop. So Lombardi and whoever the GM is for Chicago are probably sitting, phones are off, they're sitting there on the golf course July 1st because they could care less about free agent frenzy. It's not a frenzy to them. They have their prospects pay their dues in the minors, and then you wait and see what they do in the playoffs, and there's a reason why they've dominated the last couple of years.
And that's correct to say Detroit actually tried to throw a lot of money at a lot of players, and no one wants to go and play Detroit for some reason. So I think I'd rather be, same thing, I'd rather sit back. I think Stan Bowman and Dean Lombardi were having a nice day, just doing absolutely nothing and watching everyone try to scramble to beat them, and that's what they're after. It's to beat Chicago and to beat LA.
Okay, here's another question on draft day. I'll just throw this one in there. Would you draft day on free agent, would you rather be an agent or a GM?
I think I'd rather be the agent because I'm going to make a lot of money on that day.
I wouldn't mind being the GM just because you get to organize your roster and tinker how you want. And for some of these guys, looking at the budget they got and the money they're throwing out, especially Washington, like you're throwing that much money on Orpik and Niskanen, and neither are going to be super studs for Washington. And Washington has way more problems than defense that they should be worrying about right now. So
I kind of think that Orpik one might be the worst deal of the day. But moving on to football, would you guys rather be the star running back, say like Corey Sheets, MVP, or would you rather be the star quarterback?
I'd rather go running back. Back in the day when me and my brother used to play like our video games, I was always the running back. He was always the quarterback, and I just preferred to run the ball because I'd get the ball more when we were playing our games. But I think I'd rather be the running back myself than not have to deal with the pressure of quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback scene sees too much of the spotlight. So I think the running back can kind of lay off in the distance a little bit and, take the accolades as they come, but they don't need to be the showstopper that the quarterback does.
See, I'm the opposite. I would actually rather be the quarterback because I think it'd be fun to, control the whole offense and whatnot. But my next one is, if you're not a pro athlete, you're just a very good athlete, would you rather be someone who's decent, say, at 4 or 5 sports, or would you rather be someone who's really good at one sport?
I think I'm decent at not a lot of sports, but I'd rather be good, I think, at one good sport and have one really good thing. Like golfing or tennis is my 2 sports that I'm decent at.
I'd rather do the multi-sport just because you can learn a little bit from each sport. And they're seeing more and more kids that are just doing that one sport and playing it 12 months of the year where they're looking for character traits that they can display in multiple sports. So I'd go that route.
Perfect. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, Andrew's going to have a chance to sound off.